call this special city council meeting to order. Only a couple items on here. First is an update from our emergency services director, Mr. Fred.
Well, as you know, we're going to open up Monday morning, City Hall DMV, with the relaxation of some of the executive order. So, just got a couple more things to put into place for that, which we'll work on today and Monday morning right away before we open, putting up those stanchions and the rope. I think that's about all we have to do, right?
Yep.
So, and then we'll talk about, I guess, the parks and how we want to handle that.
Any questions for Tom?
Just a comment on DMV. Can we put something on our city website and maybe Facebook?
We're going to. This afternoon, we were waiting for the council meeting.
Even life in Painesville seems to be where it really takes off. Well, and I don't know, do we need an ad in the paper or not?
We're doing that. We were
Okay,
waiting
great.
till after the council met today.
Great, thank you.
All right, thank you. Then in regards to COVID-19, parks and park facilities and equipment, Ron?
Okay, the League of Minnesota Cities had a webinar yesterday, which I was, oh, get this over here so it picks up better. Pretty much what they said is the restrooms, as long as we have a cleaning protocol set up, they felt they were fine. As far as opening any park equipment up, as long as they are posted, and they had an example of there's just an advisory, playground equipment is not sanitized. As long as that is posted, they felt they could be opened up. But as far as gatherings beyond 10 people, they strongly, or basically advised no. That would not be following the governor's recommendations or the governor's orders. And it's kind of where they left it. They also felt opening up splash pads, they said there's no way to control that above 10 people. Concerts in the park, they kind of felt the same way. They said there's no way you're going to be able to control that at this point beyond 10 people. I don't know if Bill, if you got anything, or Paul, but that's kind of the way they.
Well, at this point, the governor's order, as I understand it, continues through June 12th. I don't think we have any concert in the park stuff before then, but right now his order says that all groups of more than 10 are prohibited, even if social distancing can be maintained. That's what it says. So I have concerns about it, but I don't know if we're going to get into June and the governor and the order is going to be allowed to expire or not. Hard to tell. For now, as I understand it, our concerts don't start till later, so maybe we don't really need to do anything about it till then. But I do have some concerns about the rentals. If we want to appear to be in the spirit of following the governor's orders, I think then it's hard to rent that out if we know that it's a group of more than 10, because the order literally says gatherings of more than 10 are prohibited. So that's, I don't know, that's a concern, but.
How much of that is the city liable, and how much of that is, people being responsible for their own circumstances as far as limiting things to the group of 10? Well,
I mean, it's city property, and so liability-wise, I know that the league has put out guidance that basically said we're not going to protect you from liability claims if they are brought and you're not following the governor's orders. But beyond that, as a practical matter, a claim for somebody getting COVID-19, it seems like it's going to be difficult to prove where it came from, but I don't know what the prospects of a liability claim for that are. the league has expressed concern about liability for city officials knowingly allowing things that are in violation of the order. But, you know, I guess if you say, well, we didn't know they were going to have more than 10, we warned them that they can't have more than 10, and they rented it anyway, and they did what they did. I don't know where you end up on that. You know, at some point, I think it becomes incredulous to say that you didn't know if somebody's planning a graduation party, to say that, well, I thought they would have less than 10 people. It seems like it's a hard sell, but I don't really know what, if any, enforcement action the state really is going to take on this stuff. I mean, on social media, you see things where people are saying they don't think the state's going to do anything, and I don't have any special insight into that.
When people reserve the park, or the shelter out there, do they say why they reserve it, or, you know, the reason, or they just reserve it?
No, they are just reserving it. There is no, we do not ask for a reason. You know, but obviously most of them at this point would be graduation parties.
And you'd almost assume if they're gonna rent that size of a facility, there's not gonna be 8 people.
No. No, it's obviously going to be more than 10.
With that being said, though, we have no information that would suggest that they haven't reached out to the people they've invited and set up means to say, okay, we can only have 10 in here at any given time. So, I mean, it's possible that some of these people who rented the parks have made arrangements to limit those people to following compliance as well. Now, that maybe is a pipe dream, but, you know, it's possible.
I guess the biggest thing I have with the rentals is, the shelter out there, is we need to make a decision, because people are waiting for the decision of they're going to have a gathering out there or not. And we're doing the best we can by telling them we have to wait. But pretty soon, you gotta make a decision and say yay or nay, because they have invitations going out, they're planning on it.
You know, my thought would be that at a minimum, if we're gonna rent it out, that there should be a disclaimer attached or somehow handed out, and just quoting the governor's order saying all groups of more than 10 people are prohibited, even if social distancing can be maintained, including social, civic, community, faith-based, leisure activities, sports, performances, conventions, fundraisers, blah, blah, blah. You know, and that part of the order is easy to put your hands on. I think we'd be, at least we'd give ourselves some coverage if we included a notice to that effect to people that rent it, and then it's up to them to decide.
Yeah, I would be comfortable with something like that, because to me, it seems kind of, you know, it's almost a catch-22, is that, you know, the parks are open, and technically, there's not supposed to be more than 10 people in a group. Yet, the part of the park out there, we would shut down, even though, like some graduations that I've gone to, people, do come and go, and, they're not always, a big gaggle of people there. Relatives tend to stick around a little more, but, friends tend to, stop in, have something to eat, drop their card off, say hi, and are on their way. I don't know.
So it potentially could work.
Oh, yeah, it could work. Like putting up the advisory signs for playground equipment. I guess you kind of have to let people decide for themselves.
Should I bring up something else? What about do we need to bring this up, the concerts in the park?
I think at this time, like I said, they're not till the end of June, so we could wait till the next order comes out.
Okay.
The group could be 50 by then, who knows? The number's 10 today.
Okay.
My only concern is we put the letter 10, please follow the governor's guidance, and the police go out there and there's 50 people in the building. What's going to happen?
We're going to hand them a letter.
Paul, they can't hear you talking to your microphone. Thank you.
We're gonna hand them a letter, reiterating the governor's orders that they're supposed to, what the social distancing stuff is. They can't be in groups of 10. And that's gonna be about it.
Just pretty much advise them and.
We're gonna educate them. We'll document it, that, we got a call out there.
So
that-
you're not gonna say you're gonna close them down, or?
No.
Just ask them to abide by the letter.
Correct. We're gonna educate them, and what they choose to do after that's gonna be up to them.
I can live with that.
And don't do it again next year.
Correct. Yes.
I guess I would agree with that too. I think that, if we send out a letter and let people decide for themselves whether they're to manage abiding, having groups of people come and go, or however they want to work it, or whatever their use is, let them make those decisions and be responsible for their choices.
Bill, are you gonna draft that waiver then?
What was that?
Was it,
Bill, I was just wondering if you were there, I'm assuming you're going to draft that waiver?
well, I'm not thinking of it as a waiver necessarily, just as a notice that would be given to people that are using the park, of what's in the governor's order. Would that be okay, Ron? Or are you thinking I suppose it would be, maybe we want to get something signed by them acknowledging that they received it, but I think that would be what I would do.
And then for the sign, Bill, would you just write down as per governor, executive order, blah, 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 no more than 10 people kind of thing?
I'll draft something and send it down, Ron.
All right, sounds good.
Well, people are just gonna congregate someplace else.
Yeah.
In their backyard, they could have twice as many people with others stopping in, so, yeah. Okay, anything else on parks and park facilities and equipment? We'll wait on the concerts in the park, and, Community Ed, they may end up canceling them anyway, so, but we'll keep an eye on that.
I think we probably need a motion to reopen the playground, so.
Oh, sure.
Let me see, I'll make a motion to reopen the parks with signage, but not the equipment. Or do we want signage on the equipment?
There's a sample signage here, just says advisory, playground equipment is not sanitized. That came direct from the league.
Okay, then I'll make a motion that we open the parks with signage duplicating what the league put out.
The parks have been open.
Correct. We just need the playground equipment open.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Okay. We have a motion, I think, by Gilmore, seconded, I know, by LeBeau, to open the playground equipment in the city parks with the signage as recommended by the League of Minnesota Cities. Is that clear?
Clear.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? I hear none. Carried, all right. Next, staffing.
We talked about that at Policies and Procedures on Wednesday night. The consensus there was that we've gotten through a lot of different obstacles due to the fact that we've been closed for, I think, 6 weeks now. So the thought was to revisit that come end of June, first part of July, and see where everybody's at with those getting close to maxing out, trying their best to take time off.
Okay, is that for Public Works, Police Department, everything seems to be fine? And I know we did talk a little bit about liquor store and took care of that at the last meeting.
Nope, on my end, Public Works, I think our staffing will be fine.
It'll be interesting to see how it does work at the counter
Yes, it will.
Monday.
It will.
For those that are not here, they've got the little red spots on the carpet already. They've put plexiglass up above the counter. You got signs all over the place. It's all new decorating, looks nice. Okay, anything else on that? Then the next and last item is about continuing the weekly meetings, and personally, I'm not sure at this point in time if the weekly meetings are necessary. Perhaps our next one is the 18th, and then, no, we don't have one on the 18th, that's right. Our next one would be the 26th, and then we could decide then if we needed to meet on the following Monday, see how things go towards the end of May.
And one thing we'll have to think about, Jeff, is if our customers are coming in this door now, we potentially would have to meet maybe at the fire hall or.
Yep.
I guess I'd leave it up to you, Mayor. If you think we need a meeting, call it.
Okay, we'll keep in contact with staff. Anybody has any issues or questions, feel free to let Melinda or Ron or me know. Anything else?
We did get the panic buttons yesterday, and they're going to be installed, I believe, this afternoon.
All right.
I know what it's-
Just in time for the horde that starts coming in on Monday. Frustrated for not being able to get in. Okay, yep, go ahead.
Off-topic question.
Yep.
So do we have a idea of, like, when our local state of emergency, when we want to end that, or what that process looks like?
What was that?
I think she was asking about the local state of emergency,
Oh, okay,
if I understood
Yeah.
right.
okay. That follows the governor's, which was extended, right?
Yes.
So,
We'll end ours when he ends his.
That's my understanding of what we decided at that one council meeting. What's so funny, Neil?
It may never end.
May never end.
No.
Well, I hope so. Does that answer your question, Alicia?
Sure.
Okay. Anything else? We're adjourned. Thank you all. Stay safe.